I grew up in a Christian household where my entire family was religious. My family would take us to church every single Sunday, and my parents took my siblings and I to these Bible studies, which eventually led to us getting baptized when I was in middle school. And at that time, I knew God was good, and I knew that He sent His Son to die for us, but I didn't completely know why. Going into high school, I would tell people that I'm Christian because that's what I was raised as, but I clearly wasn't living a life for God. I did a lot of dumb things, and when my friends would ask me questions about God, I didn't really have answers to them, and that made me doubt my faith a lot. I started to hear things about God and how He doesn't like gay people, or that He thinks that women are less than in the family, and I kind of just thought to myself that if this is who God really is, then I don't want to be following Him. And it wasn't until my senior year of high school when I really turned away from Him, because mid-year I did something that brought a lot of shame to me, and it ended up with having to break off a friendship that was really close to me. And afterwards, I pretty much put all of the blame on myself, even though it wasn't completely my fault. And I basically spent my last year of high school feeling completely alone and just so ashamed for what I did that I didn't think that I was worthy for any kind of love, let alone God's. I completely turned away from Him, and I took comfort in an unhealthy relationship with a guy. And I pretty much carried that weight of shame and guilt on me for an entire year until I came into college and joined Cru, which is when I really started to patch up my relationship with God. As I learned more and more about His love and forgiveness, I was growing so much more closer to Him. I pretty much spent a year carrying around that weight of shame and guilt until I entered college and I joined Cru, and that's when I really started to patch up my relationship with God. I started to learn so much about His love and forgiveness, and I was just growing so much more closer to Him. And at Winter Conference of 2017, I was standing in the audience, and during one of the worship nights, I felt the Holy Spirit come into me and sort of just lift that weight of shame and guilt off of my shoulders. And I just remember crying so much and feeling this overwhelming love over me, and that is when I really learned that no matter how much sin I have, I'm always going to have a Father that takes that sin and forgives me, and that is when I accepted Christ in my life. I was ashamed, now I'm forgiven. That's my story. What's yours?